We've got so many comments coming in, Keith, plenty on Rangers. We'll come to them, but there's a lot in Hearts, if I can throw a few of these at you, if that's okay. Ewan Burns says, McInnes isn't going to get Hearts ever winning the league. If that's the model Tony Bloom wants, he needs to make a series bold changes in the summer. We've bottled the chance of a lifetime.
Wow.
That's Chick says.
Eric McInnes.
Chick says Hearts only got a head start because
people losing their stuff.
I know, and I will say as well, Ewan's been on before. I know he is a big Jambo. Like, he's not the wind up in it, and he is a big Hearts fan. McInnes as well, he's been in touch saying it's worrying that we have more games away after the split, and away form has nosedived. This one as well, AF says Hearts cannot win away from home, 1 point from 12 in the last 4 games for a title race. That's utterly disastrous form. I kind of wasn't too concerned with Hearts after today. I mean, Livy took a point off Rangers. They gave Celtic serious problems. It is a hard place to go at the minute, but that Hearts away form is a big issue at this time of the season.
I think Derek McInnes was asked about it after the game, and this recent run of bad results away from home. And I think he pointed out that Hearts still have the best away record in the league. And that's what he'll be clinging to right now, and rightly so, understandably so. One of the Hearts, is McKenna there, was saying Hearts fans can, relax a little bit because this is only year 1 of the 10-year Tony Bloom plan. I'm sorry, McKenna, I hate to bust your bubble in that way, but this is the season for Hearts.
Yeah,
if it's going to happen, it's this season. Rangers will improve under Andrew Kavanagh and the 49ers. You can see the steps they've taken, but they had Russell Martin to navigate a way around earlier this season, and that's unlikely. That set of circumstances is unlikely to present itself again next season. Celtic, who knows what the future looks like for Celtic, but they won't have Wilfred Nonsi in charge at any point. So for all these reasons, and by the way, we've said it again about Celtic's transfer market inactivities, and the fact that Martin O'Neill was driving Brendan Rodgers' Honda Civic up to Dens Park again today. Yeah. That'll change. So as much as it might be nice for Hearts to believe that, if it doesn't happen this year, well, it'll happen the next one, or it'll happen the one after that. I'm not so sure. I think this is the big chance to make history, and it's not over. And Hearts fans shouldn't get too upset about dropping a couple of points today, even despite the circumstances and despite the fact that I was saying if at one stage if Hearts had gone on to win that game 4 or 5-1, you wouldn't have any issue with it. You certainly couldn't have complained if you were Livingston. It was what worries me from a Hearts perspective is that when it gets to 2-2, they didn't react well to that. And why is that? What factors are at play? Yeah. And some of it might well be mental, some of it might well be stress related. But I just, there's still a point, as Swanee says there, if you were to offer Hearts this at the start of the season, are you joking me? If they would have taken it?
Oh, of course.
6 games to go, 1 point clear ahead of Rangers in second place. Of course, they would have jumped all over you for that scenario. And Hearts need to try and remain positive. And I think one of the main reasons, well, there's a couple of main reasons, right? If you look at the partnerships that they've got, and people talk about you build a championship winning team, you give it a spine. It's everything else can come up, can be, it can come together around the edges. The spine of the team's got to be there. Well, Stuart Finley's about to come back. I think he's back training. Should be back for the game against Motherwell next weekend. Stuart Finley and Craig Halkett, I think for me, have been the best defensive partnership in the league all season. In the middle of the pitch, you've got Cammy Devlin back again, and I think that there's a real relationship formed between him and Mark Leonard. They look excellent. So you've got your 2 at the back, you've got your 2 in the middle, and then you've got Shankland and Braga. And for all those reasons, there's 3 different pairings, and for those reasons alone, Hearts fans, you don't need to be worrying yourself sick and thinking, oh, there's always next season. There probably won't always be next season. It's probably not going to happen. If it's going to happen, it needs to happen now. And there's 3 reasons in 3 different departments of the team why I think it still will.
And I could be totally wrong about this, Keith, but you can't bank on both sides of the Old being this mediocre again. You've got to think that at least one of them, if not both of them, is going to get their act together over the next couple of seasons.
Well, I think
chance for that.
We've mentioned before, Daniel, that Rangers have done a lot of the heavy lifting. They've got new ownership. They're putting big plans in place. These are serious guys. They've got serious money. Andrew Kavanagh will move Rangers in the right direction. What was the phrase that I always used right back at the start? It will get worse before it gets better for Rangers.
Yeah.
And it did. And Russell Martin happened. And it got significantly worse. But Andrew Kavanagh is learning as he goes. He's making good decisions. He's taking ownership for those decisions. He's fronting it up. And he will move Rangers in the right direction. They've made quite a lot of progress in a short space of time. No one would have thought back in October that Rangers would be involved in the title challenge. And yet here they are, 1 point behind Hearts going into the last 6. So that shows you the progress that's been made. And they will make more progress. As I said, Celtic have still got all that heavy lifting to do. The club is split and fractured. The fans are against the board. If this title race sort of peters out, if it reaches a point where it becomes obvious that Celtic aren't going to defend their title, all that stuff's going to boil over again, and it's not going to be comfortable for anybody. And the reason that the fans are at their wits' end is for, as we've just said, they can see with their own eyes that their team, the first 11, is in absolute regression, and it's because a number of transfer windows now have been amateur. So Celtic need to strengthen. They need to strengthen in all sorts of positions over the summer. Now, look, with the way things have been, there's no guarantee that even if they try to strengthen in all the various positions that are required, that they get any better. Because the standard of player that they've been trying to recruit lately or have recruited lately is nowhere near good enough.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Rangers are slightly ahead in terms of what comes next because they've done the heavy lifting. They've sorted out fundamental structural issues that Celtic still need to address. But yeah, you would imagine that Celtic have to be really serious about whatever work they do over the course of the summer. So you would think, although it's not guaranteed, as people are pointing out there, you look at your Mavuka and your Adamus and people like that. I mean, this is just nowhere near the required standard, and it's why Brendan Rodgers came up with the Honda Civic phrase, and why Martin O'Neill is careering up and down the road to Dundee in the same car, just desperately trying to keep the wheels on the road. And that's all credit to him and his coaching staff, that Celtic remain in the thick of this fight. But I'm telling you, Dan, it's getting harder and harder to call it. I'm going to stick to Hearts just now for the reasons I've pointed out, but anything could literally happen in this title race. You just have no way of having any sort of guarantee because it's so mental. Logic hasn't been applied. Logic isn't applicable to this. Everybody's just a kind of hostage to fate here.